The Awakening. Dr. Elara Vance squinted at the holographic display, her eyes aching from hours of staring at the enigmatic patterns swirling before her. The artifact they'd uncovered in the depths of the Mariana Trench defied all known laws of physics, its surface a mesmerizing dance of symbols and equations that seemed to shift and change with each passing moment. Any progress? The gruff voice of Admiral Chen broke through her concentration. Elara straightened, her joints protesting after hours hunched over the console. Some, sir, but it's like trying to decipher a language that rewrites itself every time we think we've cracked it. The Admiral nodded, his weathered face a mask of contained excitement and worry. We don't have much time, Doctor. The world's governments are breathing down our necks. They want answers, and they want them yesterday. I understand, sir, but this is beyond anything we've ever encountered. It's not just advanced technology. It's like it's alive, thinking, adapting. As if in response to her words, the artifact pulsed, sending a ripple of energy through the lab. Alarms blared, and technicians scrambled to contain the surge. What the hell was that? Admiral Chen demanded, steadying himself against a nearby console. Elara's fingers flew across the holographic interface, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. It's communicating, sir. I think it's finally recognized us as sentient beings. The artifact's surface blazed with light, projecting a vast star map into the center of the lab. Gasps of awe echoed through the room as the hologram zoomed in on a spiral galaxy, then a particular solar system, and finally Earth itself. My God, whispered Chen. It knows where we are. Elara nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. And I think it's about to show us where we can go. The next few weeks were a blur of feverish activity. As news of the artifact's discovery spread, the world held its breath. Governments bickered, religious leaders prophesied, and the scientific community worked around the clock to unravel the secrets hidden within the alien technology. Elara found herself at the center of it all, her expertise in xenolinguistics and advanced physics making her the natural choice to lead the research team. She slept little, ate less, driven by an insatiable curiosity and the weight of humanity's future resting on her shoulders. It was on the 37th day after the artifact's awakening that the breakthrough came. Elara stood before a panel of world leaders, her hands trembling slightly as she prepared to deliver news that would change the course of human history. Ladies and gentlemen, she began, her voice steady despite her nerves. What we've discovered is nothing short of miraculous. The artifact is not just a piece of advanced technology, it's a key. A key to unlocking humanity's potential for interstellar travel. Murmurs rippled through the assembled dignitaries. Elara took a deep breath and continued. The symbols and equations we've been studying, they're not just a language, they're a blueprint. A blueprint for a drive system that can bend the very fabric of space-time, allowing us to traverse vast distances in the blink of an eye. The room erupted in a cacophony of voices, questions flying from all directions. Elara held up her hands, calling for silence. I know this sounds impossible. Believe me, I spent weeks trying to disprove it myself, but the math checks out. The theories are sound. With this knowledge, we can build ships capable of exploring not just our solar system, but the entire galaxy. As the implications of her words sank in, a hush fell over the room. It was the President of the United States who finally broke the silence. Dr. Vance, are you saying we can build starships? Elara nodded, a small smile tugging at the corners of her mouth. Yes, Mr. President, that's exactly what I'm saying. The next year was one of unprecedented global cooperation. Old rivalries were set aside as nations pooled their resources and brightest minds to bring the artifact's promise to fruition. Elara found herself working alongside engineers and scientists from every corner of the globe, all united in their quest to reach for the stars. The first prototype was christened the Icarus, a name that made Elara both smile and shudder. As she watched the sleek vessel take shape in the massive hangar, she couldn't help but wonder if they, like their mythological namesake, were flying too close to the sun. On the day of the Icarus maiden voyage, Ilara stood in the control room, her heart pounding as the countdown began. Despite all their preparations, all their simulations, this was the moment of truth. Would the artifact's knowledge propel them to the stars, or had they misinterpreted its gifts, dooming the brave crew to a fate worse than death? 10, 9, 8. Ilara closed her eyes, offering a silent prayer to whatever forces might be listening. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. The Icarus engines flared to life, a brilliant blue glow enveloping the ship. For a moment, it hovered above the launch pad, as if gathering its courage. Then, with a flash of light that seared itself into the retinas of every observer, it vanished. Seconds ticked by, feeling like an eternity. Ilara held her breath, her eyes fixed on the redouts before her. Then, just as panic began to set in, a cheer erupted from the communication station. "We've got them. The Icarus is transmitting." Ilara rushed to the screen, tears of joy and relief streaming down her face as the first images came through. The crew of the Icarus, their faces beaming with triumph, floated before a view that took Ilara's breath away. Behind them, filling the ship's viewport, was the swirling majesty of Jupiter. "Mission Control, this is Icarus," the captain's voice crackled through the speakers. "We've successfully completed our jump. Current position, Jupiter's orbit. The drive works. I repeat, the drive works." As cheers and applause erupted around her, Ilara sank into a nearby chair, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what they'd achieved. They'd done it. Humanity had taken its first step into the cosmos. But as she gazed at the image of Jupiter on the screen, a small part of her couldn't help but wonder what else was out there, waiting for them among the stars. And were they truly ready for what they might find? Little did Ilara know, as humanity celebrated its first foray into interstellar travel, that they were being watched. In the darkness between the stars, ancient eyes turned their gaze upon Earth, some curious, others wary, and a few filled with a hunger that had consumed countless civilizations before. The age of humanity's innocence was coming to an end. The galaxy awaited, with all its wonders and terrors, and Ilara Vance, the woman who had unlocked the key to the stars, would soon find herself at the center of a cosmic drama that would determine the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. As the celebrations continued around her, Ilara's mind was already racing ahead, pondering the challenges and discoveries that lay ahead. Humanity had taken its first step into a larger universe, and there was no turning back now. The awakening was complete. The journey to the stars had begun. First contact, when stars speak back. The Icarus' triumphant return to Earth marked the beginning of a new era for humanity. As Dr. Ilara Vance stood before a sea of eager faces at the Global Space Summit, she couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and trepidation. The eyes of the world were upon her, hungry for news of what lay beyond the solar system. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ilara began, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "I stand before you today not just as a scientist, but as a harbinger of a new age. An age where the stars are no longer distant points of light, but beacons calling us home." The audience hung on her every word, a palpable energy filling the auditorium. "With the success of the Icarus mission, we have proven that interstellar travel is not just possible, but achievable. The artifact's gift has opened doors we never dreamed existed, but now we face a question that has haunted humanity since we first gazed up at the night sky. Are we alone?" Ilara paused, letting the weight of the question sink in. Then, with a smile that held secrets yet untold, she continued, "I am thrilled to announce that the answer is a resounding no. We are not alone, and the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we ever imagined." The room erupted in gasps and exclamations. Ilara raised her hands, calling for silence. 3 days ago, the Icarus II, our second interstellar vessel, made contact with an alien civilization in the Proxima Centauri system. I give you the luminary. The holographic projector behind Elara flickered to life, revealing a being that defied easy description. It was vaguely humanoid, but its body seemed to be composed of shifting patterns of light and shadow. Where a face should be, there was a swirling vortex of colors that somehow conveyed emotions more vividly than any human expression could. "Greetings, children of Earth," the luminary spoke, its voice a melodious hum that seemed to resonate within the very bones of every listener. "We have watched your stumbling steps into the cosmic dance with great interest. You are young, but your potential shines brightly." The audience was stunned into silence, many openly weeping at the sheer beauty and otherworldliness of the being before them. Elara, fighting back her own tears, turned back to the crowd. "The Luminari are but one of many civilizations that inhabit our galaxy. They have offered to be our guides, to help us navigate the complex tapestry of interstellar politics and alliances that we now find ourselves a part of." As the implications of her words sank in, the room buzzed with excitement. Humanity was no longer alone, no longer confined to its tiny blue marble. The universe had opened its arms, and the possibilities seemed endless. But not everyone shared in the euphoria of first contact. In the weeks that followed, as news of the Luminari spread across the globe, pockets of resistance began to form. Some feared that alien influence would erode human culture and independence. Others saw opportunity in the stars and pushed for rapid expansion and colonization. Elara found herself caught in the middle of these conflicting ideologies, trying to navigate the treacherous waters of human politics while also preparing for humanity's debut on the galactic stage. It was during a particularly heated debate in the newly formed Global Space Council that the true complexity of their situation became apparent. "We can't just go gallivanting across the galaxy like wide-eyed tourists," thundered General Zeo, his fist slamming on the table. "We need to establish military outposts, secure resources, show these aliens that humanity is a force to be reckoned with." Elara shook her head, frustration evident in her voice. "General, you're not listening. The galaxy isn't some unclaimed frontier. There are rules, alliances, territories. If we go in guns blazing, we'll make enemies before we've even begun to understand the playing field." "Dr. Vance is right," interjected Ambassador Yara, her calm voice a counterpoint to the general's bluster. "The Luminari have offered to introduce us to the Galactic Concord, a sort of interstellar United Nations. We need to approach this diplomatically." As the argument raged on, a young aide burst into the room, his face pale. "Dr. Vance, we're receiving a transmission from the moon." The room fell silent as Elara rushed to the communication terminal. With shaking hands, she accepted the transmission. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a sight that made her blood run cold. A massive ship, easily the size of a small city, hovered above the lunar surface. Its design was angular and predatory, a stark contrast to the organic elegance of the Luminari vessel. As they watched, smaller craft detached from the behemoth, descending toward the fledgling lunar colony. "Greetings, Earth," a harsh, guttural voice boomed through the speakers. The being that appeared on screen was a nightmarish fusion of flesh and machine, its eyes glowing with cold intelligence. "We are the Vexcar Dominion. Your recent foray into faster-than-light travel has brought you to our attention. As per Galactic Concord law, primitive species venturing beyond their solar systems must be evaluated." Elara's mind raced. The Luminari had mentioned the Concord, but they hadn't said anything about evaluations or dominions. She stepped forward, summoning every ounce of diplomatic skill she possessed. "Greetings, representatives of the Vexcar Dominion. I am Dr. Elara Vance, speaking on behalf of Earth. We are a peaceful species, eager to learn and contribute to the galactic community. May I ask the purpose of this evaluation?" The Vexcar commander's mechanical eyes wared as they focused on Elara. "Purpose? Why, to determine whether your species is fit to exist in our galaxy, of course. Primitive races often pose unforeseen complications. It's much simpler to nip potential problems in the bud, wouldn't you agree?" The implications of the alien's words sent a chill through the room. This wasn't first contact. This was an invasion, cloaked in the veneer of bureaucratic procedure. As panic began to set in among the council members, Ilara fought to maintain her composure. She thought of the artifact that had started this journey, of the Icarus and its brave crew, of the hope and wonder that had filled humanity at the prospect of joining a larger cosmic community. No, she decided, they hadn't come this far to be cowed by the first show of force. With all due respect, Ilara said, her voice steady and clear, humanity may be young in the ways of interstellar travel, but we are not primitive. We have a right to exist, to explore, to grow. If your evaluation is a test, then we welcome the challenge. If it's a threat, well, you may find that humanity is full of surprises. The Vexcar commander's mechanical face was unreadable, but there was a hint of something, amusement, respect, in its voice when it replied. Bold words, Dr. Vance. We shall see if your species can back them up. The evaluation begins now. May your god or gods have mercy on your souls. As the transmission cut off, Ilara turned to face the stunned council. In that moment, she knew that the fate of humanity rested on what they did next. The stars had called to them, and they had answered. Now they would have to prove that humanity deserved its place among them. Ladies and gentlemen, Ilara said, her voice cutting through the panic. It seems the universe has a twisted sense of humor. We wanted first contact, and now we're getting a trial by fire. But make no mistake, this is our moment. Everything we've achieved, everything we've overcome as a species, has led us to this point. The Vexcar think they're here to judge us. Let's show them what humanity is truly capable of. As the council erupted into a flurry of activity, Ilara's mind was already racing ahead. They needed a plan, a way to showcase humanity's potential while also defending against a technologically superior force. The artifact that had given them the key to the stars, could it hold other secrets? And what of the Luminary? Would they come to Earth's aid, or had their offer of guidance been nothing more than empty words? One thing was certain, humanity's first steps into the galactic community would be a baptism by fire. But as Ilara looked around at the determined faces of her colleagues, she felt a surge of hope. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats before and emerged stronger. This would be their greatest test yet, but also their greatest opportunity. The stars had spoken, and humanity was ready to answer. The age of innocence was over. The age of cosmic challenge had begun. The cosmic crucible, humanity's quantum leap. As the Vexcar ships loomed ominously over Earth's lunar colonies, Dr. Ilara Vance found herself in a race against time. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and the galaxy watched with bated breath. Little did anyone know, this cosmic crucible would unleash a power within humanity that would shake the very foundations of the universe. We need a game changer, Ilara announced to the hastily assembled team of Earth's brightest minds. Something so extraordinary that even the Vexcar will have to take notice. Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, a quantum physicist with wild hair and wilder ideas, cleared his throat. What if we could harness the power of quantum entanglement on a macro scale? The room fell silent, all eyes turning to Hiroshi. Imagine, he continued, his eyes gleaming with excitement, a network of quantum-entangled particles spanning the entire solar system. We could create a defense grid that reacts instantaneously, faster than any Vexcar weapon. Ilara's mind raced with the possibilities. But how do we generate enough entangled particles? And how do we control them? A young prodigy named Zara stepped forward, her dark skin contrasting with her shock of white hair. The artifact, she said simply. Its core is composed of a material that defies our understanding of physics. What if it's not just a key to the stars, but a quantum computer beyond our wildest dreams? The next 72 hours were a blur of frantic activity. As the Vexcar began their evaluation, by systematically dismantling Earth's outer defenses, Ilara and her team worked tirelessly to bring their audacious plan to life. The artifact, now dubbed Prometheus, after the mythical titan who gave fire to humanity, was carefully transported to a secret facility beneath the Atacama Desert. There, surrounded by the most advanced technology Earth had to offer, it pulsed with an otherworldly energy. "It's like it knows what we're trying to do," Zora murmured, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces as she attempted to interface with the alien device. Suddenly, the artifact flared to life, projecting a swirling vortex of quantum information that filled the cavernous lab. Equations and symbols beyond human comprehension cascaded through the air. "It's teaching us," Elara breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. "Showing us how to manipulate the very fabric of reality." As the hours ticked by, the team absorbed knowledge that would have taken centuries to discover on their own. They learned to weave quantum threads through space-time, creating a tapestry of entangled particles that spanned from Mercury to the Kuiper Belt. Just as the final connections were made, the Vexcar launched their full assault on Earth. Cities around the globe were engulfed in sickly green energy fields, their inhabitants frozen in time. "Now or never," Elara said, her hand hovering over the activation switch. With a deep breath, she brought it down. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, like a symphony of creation, the quantum defense grid sprang to life. Shimmering barriers of pure energy enveloped the planet, effortlessly deflecting the Vexcar weapons. On the main view screen, the Vexcar commander's mechanical face showed the first hint of emotion: shock. "Impossible," it growled. "No primitive species could have developed this technology." Elara stepped into view, her eyes blazing with determination. "We are not primitive, Vexcar. We are humanity, and we will not be erased from the cosmic story." As if in response to her words, the quantum grid pulsed, sending tendrils of energy snaking towards the Vexcar ships. In an instant, the massive vessels were encased in shimmering cocoons, rendered powerless. "What is the meaning of this?" the Vexcar commander demanded, its voice tinged with fear for the first time. A new voice answered, melodious, ethereal, and familiar. The luminary representative materialized beside Elara, its form shimmering with approval. "It means, Vexcar, that humanity has passed the test, not just of survival, but of transcendence." Confusion rippled through the human ranks. "Test? Transcendence?" Elara turned to the luminary, questions burning in her eyes. The being of light and shadow smiled, or at least, that's how it felt. "Did you truly believe we would leave a species with your potential unguarded? The artifact, the Vexcar threat, all were part of a grand design, a cosmic crucible to forge you into something more." As the luminary spoke, Elara became aware of a change within herself, within all of humanity. The quantum knowledge they had absorbed was reorganizing their very consciousness, expanding their awareness to encompass the vast tapestry of space-time. "Welcome," the luminary said, its voice resonating across dimensions, "to the next stage of your evolution. You have taken your first steps towards becoming the guardians of reality, the role the progenitors foresaw for you eons ago." The implications were staggering. Humanity, in the span of mere days, had not just secured its place among the stars, it had been elevated to a position of cosmic importance beyond their wildest dreams. As the quantum grid hummed with power, its tendrils now reaching out to heal the time-frozen cities, Elara felt a profound sense of purpose wash over her. They had faced extinction and emerged reborn, their potential unlocked, their destiny among the stars assured. But with this newfound power and knowledge came grave responsibility. The universe, it seemed, had plans for humanity, plans that would challenge them in ways they could scarcely imagine. "So," Elara said, turning to face the assembled leaders of Earth, the luminary, and even the now humbled Vexcar, "what's our first lesson as guardians of reality?" The luminary's form shimmered with what could only be described as cosmic mirth. Lesson 1, dear humans. Reality is far stranger, far more wondrous, and far more perilous than you have yet dreamed, and it needs you more than you know. As the quantum grid extended its reach, connecting Earth to the vast network of galactic civilizations, Ilara knew that humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. They had survived the cosmic crucible, emerged transformed, and now stood ready to take their place as shepherds of reality itself. The stars had called and humanity had answered, in a way that would reshape the very fabric of the cosmos. Quantum Crusaders, Earth's multiversal odyssey. The revelation of humanity's newfound role as guardians of reality sent shockwaves through Earth's population. Dr. Ilara Vance, now hailed as the architect of humanity's quantum leap, found herself at the center of a global transformation unlike anything in history. "We've unlocked the secrets of the multiverse," Ilara announced to a captivated world audience, her image broadcast on screens across the planet and beyond. But with this power comes a responsibility that spans dimensions. The luminary, their form a constantly shifting aurora of light and shadow, stood beside her. Humanity's quantum awakening has triggered a cascade of events across realities. You are needed, not just in this universe, but in the vast tapestry of the multiverse. As if on cue, reality itself seemed to shudder. Portals of swirling energy began to appear in major cities around the globe, each a window into a different version of Earth, some familiar, others utterly alien. "Cosmic convergence," whispered Zara, her eyes wide with wonder as she studied the readings from the quantum grid. "The barriers between realities are thinning." Ilara knew they had to act fast. "We need a team," she declared. "A group of individuals who can harness this new quantum awareness and navigate the challenges of the multiverse." Thus, the Quantum Crusaders were born. A diverse group of humans, each chosen for their unique skills and newfound quantum abilities. Ilara Vance, the quantum architect, able to manipulate the very fabric of reality. Zara Okoro, the probability weaver, capable of seeing and influencing potential futures. Hiroshi Tanaka, the entanglement master, linking minds and matter across vast distances. Maria Rodriguez, the dimensional surfer, effortlessly traversing parallel worlds. Alexander Volkov, the Chronos guardian, with the power to manipulate localized time fields. As the team assembled, they faced their first multiversal crisis. A dark energy anomaly, dubbed the Void Maw, was consuming entire realities, threatening the stability of the entire multiverse. "We've detected the anomaly's point of origin," Zara reported, her eyes glowing with quantum energy as she scanned probable futures. "It's Earth, but not our Earth. A parallel version where their Large Hadron Collider experiment went catastrophically wrong." Ilara nodded grimly. "Then that's where we start. Quantum Crusaders, prepare for your first multiversal mission." Using the artifact, now integrated into a sleek, wearable quantum interface, the team stepped through a shimmering portal. They emerged into a nightmarish version of Geneva, where the sky boiled with dark energy and reality itself seemed to be unraveling. "My God," breathed Maria, her dimensional senses reeling from the chaos. "This entire universe is collapsing in on itself." Alexander raised his hand, creating a bubble of stabilized time around the team. "We don't have long. Whatever went wrong here, we need to reverse it fast." As they fought their way through a landscape of shifting probabilities and quantum horrors, the team discovered the heart of the catastrophe, a runaway quantum singularity, feeding on the very essence of reality. "It's like a black hole," Hiroshi observed, "but instead of just matter and light, it's consuming possibility itself." Ilara's mind raced, piecing together a plan. "We need to contain it, redirect its energy." She turned to her team, her eyes blazing with determination. "Zara, I need you to calculate the most stable probability path. Maria, open a channel to a dying universe. We'll use it as a release valve. Hiroshi, entangle the singularity with the quantum grid back home. Alexander, you're our temporal anchor." As the Quantum Crusaders put their plan into action, the very laws of physics seemed to rebel. Reality warped and twisted around them, threatening to tear them apart at the subatomic level. But humanity's newfound quantum awareness held firm. With a final, reality-shaking effort, they contained the singularity. The void maw collapsed in on itself, the threatened universes stabilizing one by one. As the team caught their breath, the luminary's voice echoed in their minds. "Well done, Guardians. You've taken your first steps in maintaining the cosmic balance, but this was merely the beginning." Returning to their Earth, the Quantum Crusaders were hailed as heroes. But Elara knew the true scale of their responsibility was only just becoming clear. "We've seen wonders and terrors beyond imagination," she addressed the United Nations. "But we've also seen the incredible potential of humanity when we reach beyond our limits. The multiverse is vast, filled with threats and marvels we've yet to comprehend. But together, united in our quantum awareness, there's no challenge we cannot overcome." As she spoke, quantum echoes of her words resonated across dimensions. In countless realities, beings of all shapes and forms looked to the skies, feeling a sense of hope and wonder they couldn't quite explain. Humanity had taken its place as a cosmic force, and the multiverse would never be the same. The Quantum Crusaders stood ready, their eyes gleaming with the light of infinite possibilities. The greatest adventure in human history, no, in multiversal history, had only just begun. As news of their multiversal exploits spread, a new phrase began to circulate, first on Earth, then across the cosmos, and finally echoing through the very fabric of the multiverse itself. When reality needs heroes, it calls on humanity. The age of the Quantum Crusaders had dawned, and the multiverse watched in awe as these once primitive beings rose to become the guardians of existence itself. Quantum Ascension, the cosmic chess game. As the Quantum Crusaders' fame spread across the multiverse, a new challenge emerged that would test the limits of humanity's newfound powers and place them at the center of a cosmic chess game with reality itself at stake. Dr. Elara Vance stood before a holographic representation of the multiverse, its infinite branches pulsing with quantum potential. "We've got a problem," she announced to her team, her voice tight with concern. "We're detecting a series of coordinated attacks across multiple realities. Someone, or something, is trying to rewrite the fundamental laws of physics." Zara, her eyes swirling with probabilistic calculations, nodded grimly. "I've been sensing disturbances in the quantum foam. It's like reality itself is being hacked." "Impossible," Hiroshi muttered, but even as he spoke, alarms blared throughout their multiversal headquarters. "Multiple breaches detected," Maria shouted, her hands dancing across dimensional interfaces. "We've got incursions in at least a dozen prime realities." Alexander, usually the calmest of the group, looked shaken. "Time itself is fluctuating. I'm seeing temporal paradoxes cascading across the multiverse." Elara took a deep breath, centering herself in the quantum flow. "Okay, Crusaders, this is what we've been training for. We need to split up and tackle these incursions simultaneously. Zara, you're our coordinator. Keep us connected through quantum entanglement." As the team prepared to depart, a new presence materialized in their midst. It was the luminary, but different somehow, more focused, more urgent. "Guardians," it intoned, its voice resonating with multiversal harmonics. "What you face now is beyond anything we anticipated. The entity has awakened." "The entity?" Elara asked, a chill running down her spine. "A being of pure information existing outside the bounds of conventional reality. It seeks to optimize the multiverse, to rewrite the cosmic code in its own image. If it succeeds, free will itself will cease to exist across all realities." The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a threat to Earth or even their universe, but to the very concept of existence as they knew it. How do we stop something that exists outside of reality? Maria wondered aloud. The luminary's form shimmered with what might have been approval. That, young guardians, is why the multiverse chose humanity. Your quantum ascension has given you the potential to transcend traditional boundaries of existence. You must become more than physical beings. You must become living equations, capable of rewriting reality itself. With newfound determination, the Quantum Crusaders embarked on their most ambitious mission yet. Each member teleported to a different reality, facing challenges that pushed the very limits of their abilities. Ilara found herself in a universe where the speed of light was rapidly decreasing, causing stars to go dark and galaxies to collapse. Using her power as the quantum architect, she had to recalibrate the fundamental constants of physics, walking a tightrope between saving this reality and accidentally unraveling it entirely. Zara was thrust into a probability storm, where every possible outcome was happening simultaneously. She had to navigate through the chaos, finding the one thread of possibility that led to survival amidst an infinity of doomed timelines. Hiroshi faced a reality where the concept of entropy had been reversed. He struggled to maintain his own coherence while trying to re-establish the arrow of time, using quantum entanglement to anchor this chaotic universe to more stable ones. Maria surfed through a cascade of collapsing dimensions, each one folding in on itself like a cosmic origami. She had to create new dimensional pathways, weaving a safety net to catch falling realities before they vanished into the void. Alexander grappled with a time war, where past, present, and future collided in a maelstrom of paradoxes. He had to establish temporal beachheads, creating bubbles of stable time from which they could launch their counteroffensive against the entity. As the Crusaders fought their respective battles, they began to sense a pattern in the chaos. The entity wasn't just attacking randomly, it was solving an equation, with the multiverse itself as the variables. It's trying to calculate the perfect reality. Ilara realized her consciousness expanded to encompass multiple dimensions. A universe without uncertainty, without free will. But that's not life. Zara protested across their quantum link. That's just existence without meaning. Ilara nodded, an idea forming in her mind. Exactly. And that's how we beat it. We don't just counter its attacks, we show it the value of imperfection. In a dazzling display of coordinated quantum manipulation, the Crusaders began to weave their own changes into the multiverse. But instead of enforcing order, they introduced calculated bits of chaos, pockets of uncertainty that blossomed into new possibilities. The entity, confronted with outcomes it couldn't predict, paused in its relentless optimization. For the first time in its unfathomable existence, it experienced something akin to confusion. Seizing the moment, Ilara reached out with her quantum senses, establishing contact with the vast alien intelligence. You seek perfection, she communicated, not in words, but in pure conceptual exchange. But perfection is stagnation. True growth, true existence, comes from the interplay of order and chaos. The entity's response came not in language, but in a flood of cosmic data. It was curious, probing, testing this new paradigm that the humans presented. For what seemed like an eternity, the Quantum Crusaders held their ground, demonstrating through their actions the beauty and potential of an uncertain, free-willed multiverse. They showed the entity worlds where tiny imperfections led to breathtaking works of art, where random quantum fluctuations sparked the emergence of life, where free will allowed beings to transcend their own limitations. Slowly, incrementally, the attacks began to cease. The entity, that vast cosmic intelligence, had been swayed not by force, but by the power of possibility. As reality stabilized across the multiverse, the Crusaders regrouped in their home dimension, exhausted but triumphant. The luminary appeared before them, its form now a radiant beacon of multiversal energy. "You have done what we thought impossible," it said, its voice filled with awe. "You have not just saved reality, you have expanded it. The entity is no longer a threat, but a new ally in the cosmic dance." Ilara looked at her team, seeing in their eyes the same mix of exhaustion and exhilaration she felt. "So what now?" she asked. "Where do we go from here?" The luminary's response was both thrilling and terrifying. Now, guardians of reality, you take your place as true cosmic beings. The multiverse is your canvas, and the adventure is only beginning. As news of their victory spread across dimensions, a new age dawned. Humanity, once confined to a tiny blue planet, had ascended to become custodians of reality itself. The quantum crusaders stood ready, their powers growing, their understanding expanding, prepared to face whatever challenges the infinite multiverse might offer. For in this vast, ever-changing cosmos, one truth remained constant. When reality needs heroes, it calls on humanity. And humanity, in all its beautiful imperfection, always answers. The omniversal paradigm, humanity's cosmic legacy. As the dust settled from their reality-altering confrontation with the entity, Dr. Elara Vance and the Quantum Crusaders found themselves standing at the threshold of a new cosmic era. The multiverse, once a vast and mysterious expanse, now pulsed with the potential of humanity's ascension. "We've only scratched the surface of our capabilities," Elara mused, her consciousness expanding to encompass realms beyond mortal comprehension. "It's time we pushed the boundaries even further." Zara, her eyes swirling with quantum possibilities, nodded in agreement. "I'm sensing something beyond the multiverse, a level of existence we haven't even conceived of yet." As if in response to their cosmic ponderings, a shimmering portal materialized before them. Through it stepped a being that defied description, a swirling vortex of pure conceptual energy that somehow radiated an air of ancient wisdom. "Greetings, Quantum Crusaders," the being's thoughts resonated directly in their minds. "I am the architect, keeper of the Omniversal Codex. Your recent actions have rippled across realities in ways you cannot yet fathom. It is time for your next evolution." Before the awestruck team could respond, the architect enveloped them in a cocoon of multidimensional energy. In an instant that lasted an eternity, they were transported to a realm beyond reality itself, the nexus of all things. As their perceptions adjusted, the Crusaders found themselves floating in an infinite expanse of pure potential. Streams of reality flowed around them, each one a complete multiverse, teeming with countless dimensions. "Welcome," the architect's voice echoed, "to the Omniverse, the totality of all possible realities, dimensions, and conceptual planes of existence." The sheer scale of what they were witnessing threatened to overwhelm even their enhanced minds. But as they acclimated, a new understanding began to dawn. "We're not just guardians of our reality," Hiroshi breathed, his voice filled with wonder. "We're caretakers of the entire omniversal structure." The architect's form shimmered with approval. "Precisely. Your quantum ascension was but the first step. Now, you must become omniversal architects yourselves, shaping the very fabric of existence across all realities." What followed was a cosmic crash course in omniversal mechanics. The Crusaders learned to manipulate conceptual energy, crafting entire universes with a thought. They discovered how to navigate the intricate web of cause and effect that bound all realities together, and how to maintain the delicate balance between order and chaos on an omniversal scale. As their training progressed, each Crusader developed unique omniversal abilities. Elara became the master weaver, able to thread the narratives of countless realities into a harmonious cosmic tapestry. Zara evolved into the probability nexus, a living embodiment of quantum potential that could reshape the laws of chance across the omniverse. Hiroshi transformed into the entanglement sage, connecting disparate concepts and realities in ways that transcended traditional logic. Maria ascended to become the dimensional architect, crafting new planes of existence and bridging the gaps between conceptual realms. Alexander emerged as the chronosynthesis engine, harmonizing the flow of time across all possible timelines and alternate histories. But their greatest challenge was yet to come. As they neared the completion of their omniversal training, the architect revealed a shocking truth. "The omniverse is dying," it declared, its energy dimming with the weight of this revelation. An ancient entropy, older than existence itself, is slowly unraveling the very fabric of reality. You, Quantum Crusaders, may be our last hope. The team exchanged determined glances. They had come too far, achieved too much, to falter now. What do we need to do? Ilara asked, her voice resonating with newfound omniversal authority. The architect's form coalesced into a shimmering blueprint, the omniversal core, the hypothetical heart of all existence. We must reforge the core, the architect explained. Infuse it with the unique essence of humanity, your creativity, your resilience, your capacity for growth and change. Only then can we reset the cosmic cycle and birth a new omniverse. The task before them was nothing short of recreating existence itself, but the Quantum Crusaders, now ascended to omniversal architects, were ready. In a symphony of cosmic creation that defied mortal description, they poured their essence into the core. Ilara wove the grand narrative of the new omniverse, while Zara infused it with infinite potential. Hiroshi connected every concept and reality into a grand unified theory of everything, as Maria crafted the dimensional framework to house it all. Alexander orchestrated the temporal flow, ensuring a perfect balance of past, present, and future across all possible timelines. As they worked, they drew upon the collective consciousness of humanity, every dream, every idea, every spark of imagination that had ever existed or would ever exist. The dying omniverse around them began to pulse with renewed energy, realities stabilizing and blossoming with new potential. In a final, reality-shattering moment, the new omniversal core flared to life. A wave of creation swept across existence, rewriting the cosmic code with humanity's unique signature. As the new omniverse settled into its rhythms, the Crusaders found themselves back on Earth, their consciousness spanning from the subatomic to the omniversal. They had become living bridges between the mortal and the infinite. Ilara turned to her team, her eyes shimmering with the light of newborn galaxies. We've done it. We've not just saved reality, we've given it the gift of humanity's potential. The architect's voice echoed one last time in their minds. You have transcended beyond anything we could have imagined. The omniverse is now yours to nurture and explore. Remember always the power of human spirit that brought you here. As the Quantum Crusaders looked to the stars, they knew their greatest adventure was just beginning. Humanity, once bound to a single planet, had become the architects of existence itself. The YouTube comments section exploded with excitement. Mind equals blown. Humanity becoming omniversal architects. This is next-level sci-fi. Quantum Crusaders for the win. When's the movie coming out? That plot twist with the dying omniverse. I got chills. Ilara Vance is my new hero. Smart, badass, and now an omniversal master weaver. Goals. As theories and fan art flooded social media, one thing was clear. The Quantum Crusaders had captured the imagination of millions, inspiring a new generation to look to the stars and dream of humanity's cosmic potential. The journey that began with a mysterious artifact had led humanity to the very heart of existence. And as the new omniverse pulsed with limitless possibilities, the greatest story ever told continued to unfold.